on YouTube. This is the very latest news from Fabulous 103 and the Fabulous Pattaya Media Group. It would be great if you liked and subscribed to us. Thailand Supreme Court on Friday has ruled that the Ananda development on Asok Raman 9 in the capital is an illegal build and must be demolished. The highest court in the land heard the case from both the developer of the massive condo complex and the city in the final hearing that began in civil courts and has culminated this month with Ananda Developments given 14 days to provide an acceptable alternative to the total removal of the building. The case is similar to the Frozen Valley High development and Saha Farm Sukawadi complex, but differs in that the Transit Authority in the capital has stated that they fully intended to use a part of the land there as a railway line, that same parcel of land upon which the development now sits. The land, described as reclaimed, cannot by law be used for construction. And the twist? Well, the complex must have had construction permits, but issuance of the same in this case, according to the court, was illegal. Not always the most popular of politicians, Kun Anutin, the current caretaker Deputy Prime Minister and Health Minister, has been revealed by the media as a part-time pilot flying to support medical needs. Tarred with the dirty Farang comment from the COVID era, Anutin was contacted by a Roy Et hospital needing urgent transport of organs from the capital. Anutin, obviously spotless, flew into action and delivered in time to save the Isan resident. It seems that he's been quietly flying for the cause for the last 9 years. With the long holiday here and ending only on Wednesday, many visitors to Koh Chang will either leave early or stay on longer to avoid a repeat of Friday's fiasco, which saw 5-kilometre tailbacks for ferries and the promise of 4 hours wait for vehicles. The only way to bypass was to sail as passengers and park up on the mainland. Businesses there report full accommodation and a busy trade island-wide, as indeed do those on Koh Larn, where all accommodation was booked out a month in advance, seeing no rooms free for those chancing it. By now, the fatality count for the holiday across the country so far is likely 50 on Thai roads, with police reporting over 4,000 road accidents. Speeding, driver fatigue, or dangerous driving has been blamed for most of those, as tens of thousands took the opportunity to either visit resorts or take the long journey to family homesteads in the north, as factories and businesses close for the break. In Narathiwat province, police investigating an explosion in a building discovered a neighbouring building also had a massive stash of explosives, also being used to make fireworks. Locals are fearful that others too exist, after 12 died in the main explosion that rocked their neighbourhood. Video clips from CCTV showed a quiet suburb, quiet until the building exploded, causing instant damage to buildings close by. Reports yesterday tell the media that those who ran the business had no insurance to cover damage to over 300 local buildings, the deaths or the cost of medical care for 12 people who needed hospitalisation. Sunday saw one Bangkokian not leave his home for the long break, but wishing now that he had. Instead, he went to work. As he did so, he turned off the power to his rented accommodation, as was his wont, but that displeasured his neighbour, who often piggybacks the other man's Wi-Fi service. Drinking with pals and now without entertainment, the neighbour waited for his erstwhile friend and upon his return planted a fruit knife in his neck. He survived. The neighbour was duly removed by police, and there is no word as to whether he's allowed to access the internet from his police cell, where we're told Wi-Fi is in use, but for staff only. Meanwhile at home and in Pattaya, as reported, Koh Larn Island accommodation is, if anything, overbooked, but that hasn't put off day tourists, taking ferries and speedboats there to enjoy the sands. Authorities have been quick to carry out spot checks on numerous vessels to see that all have and wear life jackets, and travellers are reminded that refusing to wear one can result on you being put back on the shoreline, minus your fare, and waving goodbye instead to your pals who comply. Koh Larn beachgoers, though, have been in for a surprise as the waters around the island turn green. Nature can certainly pick its moments, and this weekend is no exception. 2 or 3 times annually we see the plankton in the water bloom and look far worse than it is. The greeny colour will quickly dissipate and disappear, but for those not knowing, it looks like foul water, which of course it isn't. This morning's weather maps show storms covering over 2/3 of the nation, and here in Pattaya we saw rainfall from 6 in the morning onwards. Storm warnings are in place for much of the country through to Thursday, and as and when storms hit, Small boats were advised to remain on the shoreline. And as always, there had to be one. The weekend saw police release photographs of a Western man, possibly German, who decided to sit out on the beach just before sunup. There's nothing wrong with that, of course, unless, like him, you do it naked. Herr Wrinkly, estimated to be around 60 years of age, belittled local police who asked him to dress. Duly removed by 2 officers, he refused to give his name or personal details and instead seemed to talk to himself. He was duly removed to the police station with medics on standby, as all kept an eye on him. Well, the male officers anyway. No word on what he'd imbibed, but it must have been taken in volume. And finally, a local Thai man has been fined 1,000 baht for punching a South Korean YouTuber who filmed him and his pals as they sat drinking along the beachfront. It seems that the Thai man asked the Korean to stop filming them. Instead of agreeing, the Korean gave them the finger. That did it for Somchai, who clocked him as he was filmed. Whilst the evidence is beyond dispute, it's hoped that the Korean learnt a lesson too. Not everyone wants their face plastered all over social media by an annoying phone snapper. And with the reminder that from midnight, a 2-day alcohol ban is in place across the nation, out of respect to 2 Buddhist holy days, and the Met Office promising highs of 31 today, dropping down to 25, and those rainstorms likely to continue through the day and night at any time. Local and national news today from Fabulous 103 FM and Fabulous Pattaya Media Group. And to get a notification every time we release another bulletin or programme, like and subscribe to our channel, Fabulous Pattaya Media Group, by using the link below.